Hello my loves, I'm Anita Manager and welcome back to another episode of Sip and Simmer. We all have our concerns and worries in life, but for the next 30 minutes we're here to have a drink, a snack, and a good time. Excuse me. Now, before I go on, I want to remake an announcement. We will be doing a random giveaway of an Anita Manager t-shirt and a Sienna Rose t-shirt. The weeks here at Sip and Simmer are Saturday through Thursday. I'll announce the winner of each week's giveaway on the following Mama Mondays. All you have to do for eligibility is post your favorite food emoji right now in the comments and share each video to your wall. Now, this is the beautiful Sienna Rose t-shirt. And this is the incomparable Anita Manager t-shirt. Okay, so if you would like to contribute to Sip and Simmer, my Venmo is Mrs. Anita Manager, and all the proceeds do go to making the drinks and the snacks that we have here together. Tonight we will have Sienna Rose joining us again, but before I go on, I need a minute. Tonight we're going to talk about loving yourself. You have spent your whole life thus far being you, and you're going to continue being you for the rest of your life. I cannot stress this enough and how important it is to embrace all of yourself. I'm talking about the entire package, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Chances are you've been through a lot. Everyone has their own personal story. Even if you haven't been the best version of yourself 100% of the time, you should still strive to love yourself, however much of yourself you're able to. Some of us know who we are and who we want to be, and sometimes we haven't been able to reach our personal goals yet. Some of us are still fighting with parts of ourselves that we aren't comfortable to admit or accept. Those two things can both be hard in different ways, but both can make it hard to love ourselves for who we are now. It's okay to give yourself a break. Accept who you are in your life as you live right now, instead of always comparing to who you were or who you want to become. Let's say you're not as healthy or as thin as you were a few years ago, or as healthy as you want to be. Well, you're probably doing at least one thing to change things, and that's amazing. Working to keep yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally healthy is a great thing. It keeps you busy and improves you as a human being. Not only is this great, it's also okay to acknowledge that you take good care of yourself. You should take credit for the work that you do. Confidence is always attractive. Let's face it, when somebody walks into a room that doesn't look scared or miserable, it's a pretty cool thing. It makes them look 100 times more appealing. You want to be their friend. You want to spend time with them. You want some of their confidence to rub off on you a little bit. Be that person when you walk into a room. We're our own worst critics. It's cliche, but it's usually true. No one is as hard on you as you are on yourself. It's okay to lighten up and not be so hard on yourself. And it's okay to stop beating yourself up for being your current perception of less than perfect. When it comes to physical appearance, it's also okay to be confident. It's okay to be confident in every aspect of your life. If you think you look good and you want to post that selfie, do it. Nobody likes a narcissist who can only talk about their own attractiveness, but don't be afraid to acknowledge, in fact, that you are an attractive human being. There's a happy medium. It's a much bigger space than narcissism and self-hatred. Find it and live in it. It's not cool to hate yourself. For some reason unknown to me, it seems to be the unspoken idea that wallowing in self-loathing is a thing to do, especially with young adults right now. There is this odd glorification and emphasis that it's not okay to be yourself. People are encouraging that mindset are wrong and you need to forget it. It's unhealthy, it's uncool, and it's really unhelpful. You should love everything about yourself unconditionally. Accepting yourself for who you are is hard. If you already have a strong inside, embrace it and take pride in it. Take pride in the fact that you've learned how to be yourself. You've learned how to love yourself, and you're happy with who you are. It's a pretty amazing thing that not everybody can say, so you should say it if you can. Most people don't feel that way all the time. Even though it's hard working on accepting yourself and improving yourself, it's important, and quite frankly, it's vital to surviving, especially right now. Chances are you're probably pretty amazing. You are you. You are amazing. You should accept yourself and you should love yourself. Never stop working on yourself, but never feel like you're not good enough. People always say that it's okay to not be okay, and it's also okay to know when you're okay. If you're happy and healthy and you know it, don't clap your hands, but you should probably be working for it and owning it. Be happy that you're happy and know that it's perfectly acceptable to be happy with yourself, for yourself, and for me. Now, before we invite Sienna on, let's welcome her on with a drink. Tonight we're going to be making a daiquiri. It's a super simple drink, but it is delicious. It's tart and it's sweet, and it's one of my favorites. Okay, so what you're gonna need is you're gonna need 2 ounces of rum, 1 ounce of lime juice, and ½ an ounce of simple syrup. Now I'm just gonna get all this in there, and when you're mixing a drink, you wanna make sure you start with the liquor and work your way up to the sugar. So I went rum, lemon juice, and simple syrup. I'm sorry, I did forget to mention that tonight we will be making fruit pies. Not just like a typical pie like we made an apple pie, but we're going to be making like the brand Hostess fruit pies that come in the little parchment paper. They're delicious and I'm really excited. We're going to be making 2 flavors. Okay, so now I've got my shaker ready. It's so much easier to do that when I don't have a dress or something restricting my arm movements. Okay, so 9 times out of 10, a daiquiri you're going to use light rum, but we didn't have any, so we're using dark rum. It's just going to be a little bit sweeter. Okay, so now that we have our delicious beverage ready, why don't we welcome on Miss Sienna Rose.
I'm back. Hi guys.
Thank you for being with us again. It's always exciting.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Alright, and where can they find you just in case they don't know on social media?
If you don't know by now, you can find me on all social media at Sienna Rose Official, including the Venmo. Ding.
Ding.
One of these days we're gonna get that sound effect in-house. I don't have to do it every night, but
And
now,
also,
where can they find you?
I was actually just going to mention, I rebranded everything. So now I am Mrs. Anita Manager everywhere, including MrsAnitaManager.com.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, it is a new beauty mark. Do you like it? I'm feeling my Maryland fantasy.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so let's cheers to this because I'm excited to have one of these.
Cheers, and cheers to a great Anita minute. Very well said.
Thank you.
Because if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you gonna love somebody else? Can I get a gay man? No, literally, can I get a gay man? I love myself. I want another gay man to love me. Cheers.
Right, cheers.
Nice and sweet. Just
Aren't
like
they
I like
good?
it. That's really good.
Okay, so trying to work on things, trying to get a good flow, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to construct our dessert, make it live, and then backtrack.
Okay,
Sound cute?
let's do it.
Okay, so we've already seen how Anita makes her pie crust.
Yes, we do.
So we're gonna prep all of our stuff. Do you remember what that's called?
Mise en place?
Yes, she pays attention. Okay, so you're gonna get 3 cups of flour,
Okay,
3/4 of a cup of butter,
right.
3/4 of a cup of shortening,
Mm-hmm.
½ a teaspoon of salt,
Of course.
a teaspoon of sugar,
Mm-hmm.
and about ½ a cup of cold water. Put all of that in the refrigerator for about an hour. Let everything get super, super cold.
Okay.
Then you're gonna put everything except the water in your food processor
Mm-hmm.
and turn it on.
Right.
And then it's gonna look like...
Wet sand?
Yes! Oh my god, I love this. I'm so
But
excited.
on the mixer we use a dough hook, right?
No,
Because
we
it's-
put that in the food processor. That's the really sharp one.
Oh. Still learning those names.
So from there, we're gonna pour it into our stand mixer.
There we go. Okay.
Put our wet sand in there.
Mm-hmm.
Pour in the cold water. Turn it on. It's gonna form a bowl.
Got it.
Then we're going.
Insert ball here.
Then you're going to take the ball. You're gonna wrap it in saran wrap.
Mm-hmm.
Plastic wrap. Put it in the refrigerator for at least an hour.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds
Easy
good to
enough?
me. Yeah.
Same as last time, I will be posting it in the after show list of recipes. So then what we're gonna do is we're gonna roll it out.
Okay.
I like to use a cereal bowl because you do want them to be quite large, right?
Yeah.
Because
sounds good to me.
you want a full serving.
Absolutely. No one ever really asked for less pie. Let's be
Right.
honest.
So, then you are going to
Make tortillas.
basically make a pie crust tortilla. So you want it to be about 1/4 of an inch thick, and when you roll it out, you're going.
Thick.
I always forget.
I know you do.
Cheers
girl.
to the thickness.
Cheers. Oh yes, always.
Okay. So when you roll out your pie crust,
Mm-hmm.
you should see all of the little fat. There's no way you're going to be able to see it on camera. But you should see the fat from the shortening and the butter sprinkled throughout it.
Okay.
That just means that it's going to give you those little air pockets, and it's just going to make it ooey gooey and delicious.
Lovely.
All right. So, I'm going to post the recipe for the lemon filling.
Mm-hmm.
But tonight on the show, we'll be making the berry filling.
Ooh, berry.
Now, we've done stuff with berries before,
Mm-hmm.
and it's pretty straightforward. If you don't want to use blackberries,
Don't.
you could use blueberries.
Or raspberries.
Snozberries.
Strawberries.
Snozberries not real.
Huh?
Snozberries.
I was too busy thinking of my next words than what you were saying. Sorry.
That's from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna preset your oven to 350 and you're gonna let it run for at least 30 minutes.
Okay.
You want your oven to be completely at 350,
Mhm.
an even temperature. So, here I have the lemon filling.
Ooh.
And this one takes a little bit of work and it takes a little bit of time. That's why we're not doing this one on the show.
Okay, but this recipe will be posted.
It
after
will
the
be
show.
posted. So, what you're gonna do is you are going to get a saucepan and you are going to put in sugar, cornstarch, salt, and cold water.
Okay.
Right? Let that come up to a boil, and then in a separate bowl you're gonna put 3 egg yolks.
Separate bowl.
Separate bowl.
On the side.
Because when you're cooking with eggs, if you cook them too quickly, you get.
Scrambled eggs.
It's like a quiz show, and I'm living for the fact that she's getting everything right. This is great. So, once your pan gets up to temp,
Mm-hmm.
it's boiling, right? It's
Yes.
starting to get thick. You're gonna take.
Cheers.
Oh, goodness.
Mm-hmm. That word comes up so much in the kitchen. Who would have thought?
You're gonna take a 1/4 cup measuring cup,
Okay.
and you're just gonna scoop that into the egg yolks, one scoop at a time,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna whisk it with a fork.
Got it.
You want to cook the eggs super, super slowly, so that way they don't curdle or scramble.
Scrambled. Mm-hmm.
Once you get a full cup of your mix in, then you pour that back into the pan, and you let it simmer for 20 minutes.
Okay.
That's it.
Oh, that's it.
Yep. Once it comes up to a simmer, you take it off. You put in 1/2 cup of lemon juice,
Mhm.
2 tablespoons of butter, and you let it sit on the counter for a minimum of 2 hours.
2 hours, and then it's gonna look like this guy right here.
Exactly. So now we're going to fill our pies.
Let's do it.
All right. So I've got 6 here because we live with
6 people.
Yes. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is you're gonna wanna use a tablespoon,
Mhm.
and you're not gonna wanna put more than 2 tablespoons in the pie.
Otherwise, you're not gonna be able to close it up.
Exactly. So what I'm gonna do is
Mhm.
I'm going to get a little bit of water.
Okay.
So I'll scoop and fill,
Mm-hmm.
line, and you stamp with the fork.
I can do that.
Have you done that before?
Have I done that before?
No.
Okay, no I haven't.
Okay, so we're going to take our finger, we're going to dip it in the water, and we're just going to go around the edges of 1/2 of our pie crust.
And that's gonna make it tacky so it sticks together
Exactly.
almost. Okay.
So we're
Like an
going to fold
empanada.
it over. It's exactly like an empanada. It's like a sweet empanada.
Oh,
And then you're just going to make sure that you don't get any of the filling, and you're going to smash it in.
okay.
Smash it. Make sure that you don't go through it into the silicone sheet,
Why?
because then it's going to ooze
Oh.
out.
Okay.
So if you find it easier like this,
So just
like
use
me,
your finger.
use your finger and then just give that little pretty forked edge like they do at Hostess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
so I'm gonna give you that.
Cool.
Alright. So how are you doing on this lovely day of quarantine?
I am doing as well as one could. We had a nice little hailstorm before, which took me completely by surprise. I thought there was a tornado or something coming. I'm like, what else can April have but a tornado?
I know.
So.
Calling out to
thank
Auntie
you,
Em.
Keely. You like the hair? Thank you.
Okay.
How was your day?
I'm going through it. I'm getting over it.
Okay.
I don't know if you can tell by how in depth my Anita minutes have been, but she's living.
She is living.
I'm doing well. I could be doing worse, but it's a lot. And I know we're all going through it together, which makes it a little bit easier. But I just can't wait for this to be over.
Right? I just want to go out to a bar, have a beer, maybe get my eyebrows done. You know, the necessities in life.
Alright, so what's really important is after you seal them, make sure that you slide them around so that way you know that they're not stuck to the either parchment paper or silicone mat, whatever you may be using.
Okay.
And then after they're filled, you're going to want to take a sharp knife. You know I like to throw those things around the kitchen.
Oh, I know you do.
And what you're going to do is you're just going to make sure you give it some air pockets.
So it doesn't explode.
Exactly. So if you want to do like the traditional ones, you can just do 5 slits right down the center. And you just want to make sure that it's big enough to release the air, but you don't want them to be big enough for you to lose your filling and it ooze out everywhere.
Right.
Like I have a very strong feeling this is going to do because I am just filling these up. I never liked tart treats when I was a kid. Nothing
Really?
lemon, nothing lime.
I love lemon.
Now I just can't get enough of it.
Okay.
I am.
So what was your go-to
obsessed.
then? You like the berries.
Girl, I love chocolate.
Oh.
Anything chocolate, I was all about it.
Okay. I mean, you still are.
Exactly. I mean, I think I dedicated a whole week to just chocolate stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, you can't go wrong with chocolate.
You never can.
Okay.
Now, do you like dark chocolate, milk chocolate, the heinous white chocolate?
So we don't talk about white chocolate.
No,
in
we
this
don't.
house.
Mm-mm.
But I do like all of the other chocolates.
Okay.
White chocolate, I feel. Well, first of all, white chocolate isn't actually chocolate.
It's not. It's
White
a lie.
chocolate is.
It's a lie.
It's chemistry, is what it is. So not a fan. All right. So.
Now, what do you at home like? Do you like dark chocolate, milk chocolate, white chocolate? Ugh.
Now, if you don't like chocolate, it's time for you to go home.
Don't.
No,
No.
But
some people don't. Some people are just vanilla people,
and
that's fine too.
So when we're talking about ice cream, I do prefer a vanilla ice cream, but then I put 2 handfuls of chocolate chips, and then I put a handful of sprinkles, and then I put a cup of chocolate syrup on it. So there's not really any ice cream really to be eaten because it's all just toppings.
Right, yeah. White chocolate is not chocolate.
Okay, so I'm just gonna puncture some air holes in this.
Okay.
And then we are going to pop these in the oven at 350.
For how long?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Okay, so while I get this into the oven, why don't you, because now you're a pro in the kitchen.
I am.
Why don't you just jump right on board and I want you to make that berry filling.
The berry filling, which we have set up right over here. Okay, so we already did the lemon. Now we're gonna move on to the second option, the blackberries. So we are going to take 4 cups of frozen cherries.
Nope.
Cherries? Nope.
Nope, we're skipping that.
We're skipping that one.
Because we didn't have cherries, so we're using 4 cups of fresh blackberries.
Blackberries instead. Okay, so now we're going to take 3 to 4 tablespoons of cornstarch, like we have right here, and 1 cup of water or cherry juice, and 1 cup of sugar. So we're going to take our cornstarch and mix that into the sugar.
She is just breezing through. She is
Now we're
a
gonna
pro
get
in the
all of
kitchen
that in
now.
there. Now we're going to take a fork and mix it around.
So,
Once you get it all nice and mixed.
now, the most important thing about this is you really want to make sure that the sugar and the cornstarch are mixed up. That's perfect.
Okay.
Because I've said it before, cornstarch is hydrophobic, which means that it doesn't like to get wet. So you have to kind of force it to get wet.
Right.
So breaking it up with the sugar kind of disperses all of the cornstarch and it absorbs the water a little bit better.
Okay. Now you're going to take this. You're going to grab a medium saucepan.
I'm telling you, she's gonna get a spin-off.
Look at that. Okay. Now into the saucepan we're gonna put our cornstarch and sugar mixture.
Right, and you're gonna do that first.
First.
Because you want to pour the liquid on top of it. Now, if we're going to be completely honest,
Do it.
you can cheat at this point.
Oh, I love to cheat.
I don't like cheating when it comes to baking,
Okay.
but if you want, they have cans of like berries in sauce already in the
Yes.
baking aisle.
I
That's
believe
to
I've seen
cream it.
those.
So you can use that instead if you want to skip this part. You just want to make the pie crust. I do suggest making the pie crust because if you buy it store done, it's meant to be put in a pie shell and it will not hold its shape and it will melt. So it'll go. All your filling is going to come out of it.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Now into the mixture we're gonna add our water. Okay, and we're gonna turn this on to a nice medium heat. Right?
Yep. I don't. You know what? I could just watch. How is this? What is happening? 5 weeks of this, and she's just taken over. I love it.
5 weeks I know how to boil some water. Yay!
All right. So while you're doing that,
Okay.
I'm gonna jump over here and do a quick little bonus recipe.
Let's do it.
Okay. So we're gonna make, because it is Nostalgia Week, 90s.
90s week.
You open your lunchbox. You see an iridescent, shiny blue wrapper. What is it?
Scooby-Doo gummies?
She is younger than I am.
Who's
Okay.
giving a blue wrapper, right?
I'll give you a hint.
Gushers?
I've got marshmallows.
Oh, you mean like that. Oh, okay. Rice Krispie treats.
Yes.
Yay!
Okay, so Rice Krispie treats are super, super easy to do. But my favorite twist that I like to do when I make them at home, and what limits the Sienna from eating them, is sprinkles. So, what I have here is I have, so
Yes.
the easiest way to remember making Rice Krispies treats is it's equal parts Rice Krispies treats and marshmallows.
Right.
So I have 3 cups of Rice Krispies treats, 3 cups of marshmallows, and then for however many cups of that you use 1 tablespoon of butter. So I've got 3 cups of Rice Krispies, 3 cups of marshmallows, 3 tablespoons of butter.
Okay.
Doesn't get easier than that. I'm gonna throw the butter in, and I'm gonna let that melt down a little bit. Just for a second. It's already at room temperature, so I don't have to go crazy.
Oh, look at you.
And I'm going to very specifically use a wooden spoon because you don't want it to stick to everything.
Right.
So once your butter has coated the pan, you can throw your marshmallows in, and that's it. You're gonna let these melt down. You're
You know,
gonna,
before you do that, I'm just gonna steal more because these are delicious.
and then after that is melted, the way that I like to do it is instead of getting my hands all dirty, I prep my pan.
Oh, look at you.
I've got a pan with parchment paper,
Already
greased it
done.
up, and then I sprinkle my Rice Krispies treats to evenly fill the pan. And then I sprinkle
On half of them.
a quarter cup of sprinkles on half of the pan.
Now, if you want to make it better, replace the sprinkles with chocolate chips.
Yes, absolutely. So from there, I'm just going to pour this right on top of that, and then I'm just going to very easily fold it 1 or 2 times with my wooden spoon, and then you let it sit to room temperature,
Oh, that's super easy.
right? Instead of having to get in there and mix it all up in the pan and everything, this makes it super, super easy, super, super fun, and you don't have to worry about your kids burning your hands. So now you can do it with them.
Yes.
Right? All right, so now that our water's come to a boil, you're going to throw the berries in.
Okay, our berries right here. Maybe. Careful.
Give that a quick little stir.
Okay.
And then you're going to turn it all the way down. You're going to let it simmer for 20 minutes. And then let it get to room temperature. And you would fill your pies the same way that we just did with the lemon filling.
Oh, cute.
Yep. That's it.
All right.
All right, so while we're waiting for everything to simmer, melt, bake,
Should we sit?
let's have a quick sip. And now it's time for some trivia.
Oh, God.
Okay.
I already answered so many questions already, and I got them all right. Let's keep it at that.
So that was baking trivia. And you're learning in the kitchen. This is a benefit of doing
I
this.
guess so.
So now we have 3 very random questions.
I believe they are.
Okay, are you ready?
I guess.
Okay. What does the, oh, and to make it easier this time, I did make it multiple choice.
Thank you, Jesus.
Okay.
Now what do I win?
A Sienna Rose t-shirt.
Okay.
And actually, all you have to do is just post your favorite emoji and share the video, and you too will be entered.
Oh, look at that.
Okay, ready? What does the average American do 22 times a day? Are you ready?
22 times a day.
Yep. Is it laugh? Is it opens the refrigerator? Or is it using the bathroom? If any of you out there know, I want you to post it in the chat. So, what does the average American do 22 times a day? Is it laugh, open the refrigerator, or use the bathroom?
I think the bathroom one is a little excessive, 22 times.
Okay.
Laughing 22 times a day, maybe. Starting the average American, and no, I'm gonna go with opens the refrigerator.
Ding, 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 we have a winner. The average American opens a refrigerator 22 times a day. Which, if you think about it, that's really only getting about 12 things out.
Yeah.
Right?
Because the other 18 times, you forget what you want, so you close it.
Well, no, because if you take something out, you have to reopen the refrigerator to put it back in.
Oh, true.
Right?
Yeah.
Alright.
I didn't know there was math attached.
So, the average American laughs 13 times a day.
Okay.
And they go to the bathroom 6 or 7 times a day.
Okay.
Little fun fact.
The more you know.
Okay. Washington State Police have a...
That's the far one, right? Not DC.
Yes, where Seattle is.
Okay.
Well, Seattle is in Washington State. Alright, I want everybody to pay attention because I want your answers too. The Washington State Police have a 30-minute class before they get put on the field dedicated to what? Sitting, driving, or using handcuffs. What does the Washington State Police Department have a 30-minute class on before their new police officers go onto the field?
I doubt it's sitting.
Okay.
What was the second option?
Driving.
Driving. I think in order to become a police, don't you have to have a valid driver's license?
Do I look like a sergeant?
I don't know. But I just don't think they're going to let somebody be a police officer who can't drive the cop car.
That's
Even though I've seen some cops drive some cop cars and they can't drive.
I mean, you put those sirens on, you can do anything, right?
And they do. I'm going to go with the last option.
Handcuffs? Using handcuffs?
Uh-huh.
You are incorrect.
Wow.
Believe it or not, the Washington State Police Department has a 30-minute class that all of their police officers are required to take on sitting.
And doing what?
It is on sitting. That's it. Sitting down.
Glad.
Sitting down.
I'm really glad our taxpayer dollars go to fund a 30-minute class on sitting. That's
okay,
cute.
so we are going to take a break from trivia. My marshmallows are all melted.
Oh, look at that.
And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to give them a little drizzle evenly over the Rice Krispie treats. Okay.
Okay.
Now, growing up, we burnt our hands trying to fold these all in together. And now, with my little trick, you literally just go back and forth. And when you feel like your cereal is coated enough, just move on.
Now, don't be mixing the two halves. You keep your sprinkles over there where they belong.
But how easy is that?
While you're doing that, I'm going to finish this drink because it's delicious.
Why don't you give that a stir?
This one?
Okay. So after I give it a little toss, and I make sure that we're at like an even layer all the way across, I'm just going to smash it down and make sure that it's even. And that's it. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than this, and it also doesn't get safer, because I can't even tell you how many times my little fat fingers when I was a kid had blisters on them from making Rice Krispie treats. Okay, so that is my little trick. So you're gonna put the Rice Krispies and the sprinkles in the pan first, where you're gonna let it cool, and then you just chop it up.
Cute.
And you just go back and forth until it is still sticky, but like I said, you don't have to touch it. And if you do spray whatever you're using to spread it with ham first, it makes it even easier. But I mean, you guys watched me do this, and it's done.
Yeah, it's like no time at all.
Right?
And your hands are still clean.
I gave myself a manicure today. What do you think? It's beautiful. Okay, so just like that, you're gonna leave it on the counter until it's cool, and then you're gonna cut it up, and that's your treat.
Love it.
All right, I'm gonna check on these
Okay.
little fruit pies.
They smell delicious. The lemon is filling the air here.
All right. Before they're done, I think we have time for our final question.
Oh, I thought you were gonna forget. I thought we were done.
Okay.
Okay.
What was the first hockey puck made of?
Girl, I don't know sports.
Me neither, but I thought this was interesting. Now, there is a wrong answer,
I'm sure there is.
there is an urban legend,
Okay.
and there is the true answer.
All right, great.
Okay, ready? The first hockey pucks are made out of rubber, by the way,
Okay.
right now.
Sure.
Okay, just
Yep.
to give you a little. Okay, so was the first hockey puck made out of rubber?
Okay.
Was the first hockey puck made out of wood? Or was the first hockey puck made out of cow manure? And I need the wrong answer. I need the urban legend.
Wrong answer is
and I need
rubber.
the right.
Wrong answer is rubber.
Okay.
Urban legend is cow manure, and correct answer is wood. Did I get it?
You know what? I'm gonna give you a 3 for 3 because she got those in perfect order. I swear she did not see the answers.
I didn't.
I want to know how many of you got that right because when I read the urban legend, that's what made me choose this. I had to do some research and
You
some
actually
digging.
thought it was made of cow manure.
It was made in Canada.
So?
You know,
One little whack of the...
Well, oh, I'm sorry. I
The thing,
frozen
the puck?
cow manure.
It would still come apart.
I don't know. I don't play with cow pies.
Neither do hockey players, apparently.
Okay, so would you like to grab the plate to plate up our dish?
I would love to.
I am going to grab our delicious hand pies out of the oven in just a second. I'm going to show you how to make the glaze that goes on top of them that gives them that finished look that the fruit pies have when you take them out of their parchment paper wrapper.
Okay.
I've got a cup of powdered sugar. I have half a teaspoon of vanilla. I've got 2 teaspoons of water. And I have a spoon.
That's it?
That's it. And that's what gives them that that little frosty, flaky look on the outside. And what you want to do is when you take them out of the oven, you want to brush them instantly.
Okay.
And then let them cool. The reason that you brush them quickly is because it will melt. And then once it cools a little bit, it'll harden and get that crackle effect on the outside. So this is done.
Cute.
I mean,
Let me give these a stir while you're doing that.
perfect. Put this in the sink, and I'm gonna grab our finished product.
Okay. And for all of our viewers out there, even though we are making lemon and blackberry tonight, comment down below what kind of pies you like. Do you like strawberries, raspberries, you like the lemon, the blackberry? What do you like? What is your preference on these pies?
Okay, so these are cooked perfect. You did a great job sealing them.
I did.
So I'm just gonna give these a quick drizzle with my pastry brush.
Okay.
And it's really thick, so you...
Cheers.
So you want to make sure that you are gentle with it because when pie crust or any kind of pastry like this comes out of the oven, it is super fragile.
Okay.
And you don't want to tear it apart, especially when you did such a fantastic job sealing them.
No, they just look so perfect.
I'm going to finish this. Just grabbing me a spatula and we'll throw them on the plate for everybody
Of
to
course.
see. Now at home what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put them on a cooling rack after you let them sit on your cookie sheet for about 20 minutes. So 20 minutes on the cookie sheet and then about an hour on the cooling rack. But because you're really important to us, we're gonna plate it right away so you get that beautiful little finished effect. All right. So, I'm just gonna get 3 of these out there.
Okay.
Look at that dessert empanada.
Oh, yes.
How pretty do those look?
Those look
and
so
it's already
good.
starting to crackle. You see that? How it looks just like the package?
Oh, that had a rip before my eyes. Like
Right?
That.
All right, guys. So, we want to thank you again for watching Sip and Simmer. I want to thank Miss Sienna Rose for joining me again.
Oh, my pleasure.
And you can find her on all of her social media at Sienna Rose Official.
That's right.
Including Venmo.
Ding.
And you can find me, Mrs. Anita Manager, including Venmo, everywhere. Thank you again for watching. I'm Anita Manager, and you guys are amazing. Have a good night.
Good night, guys.
How much do these actually look like the package?
How long do I have to wait before I can just like shove one in my mouth?
You're gonna want to let it cool first. 'Cause
Like how?